Today, we are attending the first annual Community Preparedness Fair in Western North Carolina. This event came together with the help of so many organizations for the sole purpose of providing value to Western North Carolina post-Hurricane Helene and ahead of future disasters. Come along as we talk to each of these organizations and find out how they are helping those affected, as well as how you can help them on their mission. So I am here with Mike Tanner with the American Red Cross, and he has been a longtime volunteer with these folks, and he's going to tell us about what it is that he does and how he helps out in the community. So Mike, thank you for taking the time to meet with us share with us.
Yeah, thanks for stopping by. We've been working, of course, Red Cross is in this area. You know, we were in all 16 counties in Western North Carolina. I've lived here since the early 2000s when I first moved here from Geneva, Switzerland, believe it or not. And of course, couldn't leave because, you know, this is God's country. But I've been volunteering, working disaster relief operations. But, you know, when it hit here, there was no way I was going to go anywhere else. So we've been here since day one, since September. I live in Hendersonville normally. And I've actually been working the disaster relief operations since then. I haven't taken a day off because the need is high, as you know. And so what we're trying to do is help build capacity. Red Cross is funding. We have an incredible amount of donor dollars. One of the largest donations in Red Cross's history came to Western North Carolina. And so about 93 cents on every dollar that Red Cross gets goes out to clients. And when you look around and you see Red Cross people working, 9 out of 10 of those people are Red Cross volunteers.
Wow.
So everything is volunteer effort. Everything goes out. And like I said, we were able to get an incredible amount of money from our donors. They were so generous for Western North Carolina. And we're just turning that right back out. So as you know, we have given disaster grants. We now are going to be giving larger grants. And then come this fall, we have what we called our extended program. And we're just going to, all those folks who are in case management, we're going to call them up and say, what do you need? If you tell us
that was going to be my next question. You said that you have a large amount of money that is going out to Western North Carolina. How is that going to be spent? Because, you know, I've been boots on the ground since a week out, and, you know, there's so many folks that are like, money's here, there's going to be money, there's money collected,
right,
but we're not actually seeing the benefit of that. So
right.
Can you give us a little bit of an example of what that's going to look like, and how much longer do we have to wait before we actually get to use those funds?
Yeah, so for us, it's kind of a catch-22. So one of the things we try not to do is duplicate effort, because that's just pouring good money after bad, right? So again, whenever a response happens, you know, day one, our job really is to get everybody safe, basically save lives.
Right.
Get everybody into shelter, make sure you have a roof over your head of some type, and then feed you. And then, you know, then you get the state, you get FEMA, you get your local emergency managers really coming in. Money starts happening there. Then we get into individual assistance. So if you had a major damage or destroyed home, Red Cross will actually give you, in this case, we gave people close to $1,000. Everybody that had a major damage or destroyed, that would register with case management. And that's the key. Through all the long-term recovery groups and all the folks we're working with, we're telling folks, no matter what you think your status is, register. Get in case management.
Mm-hmm.
Disaster case management.
So North Carolina disaster case management.
Yep.
And those are the cases that you're specifically going to start referencing.
Every single long-term recovery group in all of our counties that have stood up, and almost all have, has a disaster case management subcommittee, and their job is to make sure that their community folks are registered.
Okay.
No matter what you think your damage is, because again, come this fall, we're going to go into those files and look at those unmet needs, and we're going to say, what does it take you now to be whole? If it's I don't have any clothes, I got a great job now, but I need clothes to go to work 5 days a week. We're like, okay, where do you want to go?
Okay.
We'll meet you at Men's Warehouse, or we'll meet you at Talbot's.
And this is good information, because with me working as a housing coordinator with Project Your Home, I'm getting a lot of referrals from case management.
Good.
Okay, so, and then I do have a lot of referrals that are not coming from case management, and so that's good for me to know so that I can say, okay, if you're not registered with case management, let's get you on that list.
Absolutely.
Because if that's the list you're going to be tapping into, that's important for
The
for
state,
everyone to be.
FEMA, everybody now is utilizing that database. So let's come back to today. What's happening today? So today, we have already awarded almost a dozen grants to a dozen different long-term recovery groups throughout Western North Carolina, including places like Impact Health, who brought in a lot of food insecurity capacity.
Right.
And the idea is, as these folks put in these grants, we want to make sure that we not only touch every county, or most of the counties, if not all of them, but also all the major portfolios, if you will. Food insecurity, mental health, housing, all those individual needs. So we want to make sure that the grants spread out really across and hit as many needs.
Okay.
No one organization is going to make anyone whole. It's going to be all of us working together. So that's why the long-term recovery groups, building capacity, they bring in all the nonprofits. We look to them because we feel like they're going to have the best information.
Right.
You know.
Awesome. Well, you know what? We look forward to working with you. We're thrilled that you're here. Thrilled to have you personally here for the organization, and look forward to working with you more closely in the future.
Yeah. Well, as you know, when you live here, you're not getting rid of us, right? That's the truth.
Absolutely.
But thank you for stopping by.
Absolutely.
It's a pleasure to meet you. Yeah.
I am here with Darren from KG Expedition, and that's Expedition with an X and not an E. So, Darren, tell us about what it is that you guys do.
Well, we're a Wounded Heroes nonprofit, and what we do is we build a network called the KGX Brotherhood Network, which we take wounded public safety and military out on the trails, and we do trail therapy with them out there, try to build them back up to what, just give them a normal life again, per se, and try to, especially with PTSD, it's really rough sometimes. So, being said with that, everything that we've done over the past 5 years has been, we've got a base camp in the UP of Michigan and 2 outposts. They come up there for a week, and it's them and their family. We have our own Jeeps that we put them in, and they drive those. If they don't have their own rig, they can drive that. They can, and then we go out, and then we have a chase truck that runs with them and our guides that take them. The chase truck goes ahead of them, sets their tents up, gets their food out. So when they pull in the evening, everything's good to go. The fire's going, they sit around, they get a chance to talk, and then at the end of the day, it's just more of a relaxing day for them, right?
Yeah.
So after that's all said and done, when they come back, we try to see how we can fit them into our program so that we don't just say, hey, here's a vacation, thank you for coming, and leave. No, now because as I did 40 years in the fire service. So when I retired and walked out that door, I was forgotten. So I didn't have that brotherhood anymore, right? So I'm in my head sitting at home thinking all this stuff. Well, you know where that ends up. In the long term, it's not a good thing. So what we're trying to do is build this brotherhood network up for the guys that are out of the service, so they still have a brother. They still have somebody they can talk to. With that being said, we'll go back to why we're here. So back when Helene hit, I got a phone call. They go, hey, you got 4 rigs that can be off grid for 10 days. We have everything that we can do for 10 days. We can be off grid. We have the guys that are with me are either wilderness medics or SARS guys. They're from when we were all in the service together, right?
For sure.
So we came in here, we knocked this out. I mean, it was like knocking out of the park. My Jason back here, he's an EOC guy, so he set up a command center in Swannanoa for VU. So it helped set that up, and from that point forward, we just kept moving and starting getting out in the community. And we were able to we didn't have to go back to the base camp anymore. We could stay out where we were at, so we didn't have to come back in. Right, we were totally equipped to do that. So it worked out really well. We had all the satellite communicators, so we never lost communication. We have Starlink, we have the Zolio, so we were able to communicate back to the EOC where a lot of people couldn't.
Right.
They had no communication, So it was really a good thing for us, and then we started running some other stuff for Justin Collins.
Okay.
That's how we started getting involved with that, and we started running medical runs with them because I put a medical team together. And we started getting up in the mountains, finding out if they needed medicine. We were able to get in there.
So this KG expedition that you guys do is very, very interesting. If folks are interested in signing up for that, how can they do that?
kgexpedition.com. There's a form on there that you can fill out, and it's a nomination form for the Wounded Hero. The Wounded Hero can fill it out, or somebody that wants to nominate can fill them out. There is a process we have to go through to make sure that everything's legit.
Okay.
And to make sure that they're even capable of being that remote.
Okay.
Because this is
challenging.
It's very challenging.
For sure.
It's very challenging. So, we go to an off-road park in Indiana, and we put them in side-by-sides before we take them out, just to let them see if they can handle that type of terrain.
Very nice.
Absolutely.
All right. Thank you so much for your time. We appreciate you being here.
Thank you.
Thanks for what you guys have done.
Yeah.
I am here with Kristen Watson with the Mountain Aid Project based out of Morganton, North Carolina. And Kristen, tell us about what MAP is and how you all help.
Okay, so Mountain Aid Project, we're located in Morganton, North Carolina, in Burke County. We kind of started as just a big warehouse. We were helping to receive in larger donations that the smaller hubs couldn't fit, but they were being consumed quickly, so we knew they needed to be replenished. So we're able to get the space for that. You guys helped us get power there. Thank you. There was no power or water. We had made our first move to another building right down the street 4 blocks away at downtown Morganton, where we had planned to open a thrift store doing upcycling of some items. As everybody here knows, with donations, there are things that maybe can't be given to the people, or they just don't need it. We didn't want to see that go to waste, so we wanted to do some creative art things with the community, start building the relationship, keep the conversation going about the need, for people who are still suffering or need help from Halloween. So we're making our final move, hopefully, to Medicine Man, that clinic, 1001 East Union. And once that building's ready, we can continue to do the closed distribution, which again, a lot of people turn away from, and I understand because it's a lot. It's a lot of effort, it takes a lot of manpower. And continue to open up with the community to do some upcycling, learn to sew, small tools. We've also done some raised bed building and arranged for roofing shingles to be delivered, lots of lumber, trying to help with the logistics side of things, as you know.
Right. So a lot of logistics, a lot of transportation moving, a lot of contact with resources,
Yes.
Including mental health services,
Yes.
through partnership with Hope for NC.
Yes.
So awesome. What is it that you need?
So right now, I need people to come get some free clothes from our place in Morganton before we move. No, I think we are still looking for fun ways to do fundraisers. I want it to be an exchange. I want to figure out what the community wants and needs and how they feel like they could help and be a part of it so that we can work together to raise the funds to help us keep going.
So you need people to bring ideas.
Yes,
creative
that would be
ideas.
great.
And a creative mind and space to do that.
Yes,
Perfect.
absolutely.
So what are some of the other things that folks can, or what are some of the other ways that people can contribute if they're not creative?
Obviously, we are nonprofits. We always need funding. We have to pay rent. We have to pay bills. I'd one day love to be able to get that store up and going. It's going to take some work with the building. But in the visionary idea of teaching people new skills with the sewing machine, small tools, different types of saws, impact drills. If you have something laying around that still works, we would love to be able to utilize it, and we would be trying to build things that are going to be helpful for people who lost everything. We kind of focus on the farmers. Maybe, we're trying to expand that to homesteaders, people who are just gardening. How can we help them? So those tools would make a big difference for us.
And where can they find you?
We will be at 1001 East Union Street in the basement of Medicine Man starting July 1st.
And where else can they find you?
Online. Okay, got where you're going there. On Facebook, Mountain Aid Project, Instagram, Mountain Aid Project, and mountainaidproject.org.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm here with Felista with Loving Hearts Bear Closet out of Marion. Is that correct?
That is correct.
And Felista's going to tell us exactly what it is that they do and how they help folks.
Hey guys, I'm Felista Gossett from the Bear Closet. I'm the director. We help out families in need with diapers, wipes, hygiene products, car seats, and we also have a food program, produce food program on Wednesdays that we help both freezer food, hot meals, and produce.
Fresh produce.
Yeah.
Now,
Beautiful.
I know I seen earlier this week you all posted on social media a needs list. Can you tell us a little bit about what that need is right now?
Yeah, so we need items like toilet paper, paper towels, box fans, air conditioners, size 8 diapers. That's been really a big need right now.
Okay. And then I think I've seen children's snacks because kids are home right now
Yes.
and food is so expensive. We're running across that a lot across that with distribution hubs. They're getting the necessities with some of these hubs, but children's snacks have been few and far between.
Yes, so we have a program now where we offer a packed lunch for the children on Wednesdays from 1 to 4. You come to us on Wednesdays, and then we'll give them a packed meal.
Okay. Awesome. And where can they find you, Felicity?
337 Garden Creek Road here in Marion. Our phone number is 828-803-8790.
And then you're on Facebook?
I am, and we have a website as well, Bear Closet of Marion.
Perfect. All right. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you
Now
so much.
I'm here with Ronnie and Sierra Maynard from United Christian Alliance, and they are going to tell us a bit about their organization and about what they do, how they've helped. So Ronnie, just kind of tell us what you've done so far and what it is that you do.
Well, when we started, we were a construction company, and when the hurricane hit, we were the last place that you could get a tractor trailer on the interstate. So we had people start bringing the supplies to us and drop them off. After about 2 days, we had 3,500 meals a day going out on side-by-sides, and they just never stopped. We're still getting tractor trailer loads of supplies. We're still trying to build things. We're trying to take a lot of different items and put them together into smaller items that actually be used. I mean, during the storm, nobody needed 3,000 buckets or a tractor trailer load of trash cans and stuff like that, but we were able to take the trash cans, the buckets, and we could put supplies inside of them.
Okay.
And we could send them out, and people loved that. People loved opening up a trash can, and when they got inside of it, there was food and water and trash bags and
Everything
paper
they
towels
needed.
and stuff they needed, the muck out kits and stuff they needed. So it worked out really good. So what we're trying to do in the future is we're wanting to try to get loads of supplies donated from everybody all over the country. So if we get a load of food or a load of water or whatever, we'll be able to take that and put it into stuff like our boxes, and we can take that and give it out right away to somebody.
So you're making these preparedness totes,
Yes.
correct? And what all? And what is your goal with those preparedness totes?
The disaster totes, they are for day one. So if a disaster hits, we're able to take a tote built either for a family of 4 or a family of 6 and hand them out. So, the first 72 hours is like assessment, knowing what's going on. They'll have something.
And what's typically going to be in those totes?
In those totes, you'll have a flashlight, you'll have a blanket, you'll have MREs, canned goods, can opener, you have dude wipes, you have just basic need stuff, a hygiene kit, just something to get you by for at least 2 or 3 days until after the assessment, and we can get other supplies to wherever's needed.
Very nice. And what is it that you all need in order to make your organization run, or what could you use help with?
We need help with a little bit of everything. First thing we're going to need is money to buy this stuff. We got to have funds to buy what goes in the bags. Right now, I think we're looking at $150 per box to make the boxes. So, it don't take long with $150 a piece to run out of money on those. Then we need help with organizations coming in that will take and sort through and make the boxes and put them together. And
So
stack them.
volunteers.
And then we'll need volunteers to come in and put the boxes together, get them in the warehouse, organized. And then we also have a lot of people that need to come. We got a lot on the other end of it. When we get a bunch of mixed supplies, we need people to come in and sort these mixed supplies so that we'll know we don't have the stuff sorted out to put into the boxes.
Okay.
That's taking a lot of our time to be able to get stuff just ready to go in boxes.
Now, you guys have also been building and helping with some of more of the long-term recovery. Do you guys need help in that area as well?
Yes. Yes, we need. Right now, one of our big things we're needing is drivers. We've got 20 tractor trailer loads of lumber that came into our shop. We need 18,000 pound bundles of lumber that no one can unload. So we're unloading 18,000 pound bundles of lumber. They're 8 foot wide, and we're having volunteers come in and cut them down and make them small enough we can put them on a trailer, and then people can actually unload them when they get to the mountains.
So you need drivers to be able to move this lumber from your location in Morganton up to the folks that need them in the mountains.
We also need drivers to get it there because we don't have drivers to get them to the mountains. So we need
And
people to move them.
supplies too. I mean, there's supply hubs that need food that they don't have the time to come get it, and we don't have the support or the drivers to take it to them.
take it.
So we also need drivers for that.
Okay.
What about skilled workers? Do you need electricians, carpenters, things like that as well?
Yes, we need skilled laborers of every type. We need painters, sheetrock people, electricians. We've got people needing their houses replaced all over Western North Carolina.
All right.
And where can folks find your organization?
You can find us on Facebook. We're United Christian Alliance Response.
Thank you so much for what you guys have done. I know you guys have had a huge impact across Western North Carolina by being that last hub that folks could get to, and it became a huge place that folks knew from up in the mountains and then also down on the mountains for everyone to come together and get the supplies up there. So thank you for all your continued work. You guys are doing an amazing job.
Yeah, your name always comes up, always.
We're trying to do what we can.
I'm here with Austin with Wine to Water, and this is a very interesting booth. So Austin, tell us what it is that Wine to Water does, and yeah, just tell us about it.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, so we are a nonprofit organization that does free water quality testing for the community of Western North Carolina, and we do people who have been impacted by Hurricane Helene or anyone who's been, who's concerned with their water source.
Okay.
So we have a local lab in Boone. We send the results to, and you get a free list of anything that could be in your water that could be contaminating to you and to your health, to E. coli, to bacteria, any type of hardness or pH levels.
So folks can just reach out to you online and request a test?
Yeah, so they request a test on WTW.org, and that's our website, and you can easily request a test with some basic information, and we have a schedule to reach out to you, and we can come to your home. It takes no more than 10 minutes to get a test.
Oh, nice.
And we send it to the lab same day.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, it's amazing stuff we're doing.
Awesome.
Okay. And what is this?
So this is our drop filter bucket. It's a gravity-fed filter, and it cleans water up to 99.9%, and they are good for 10 years with just basic maintenance of flushing the filter and just cleans some of the hardness out, some of the silt out. And we're trying to give that to the community as much as we can. We've been giving it out to a lot of the community members who don't have any access to water.
Okay.
And right now we are, looking at getting this on the market to sell, and it just completely cleans any type of water for you, 99%, and it's just easily drinking water.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, and it's fast.
And it's fast too, and you can put this in your backpack. You can travel with this, and it fits most water bottles.
Well,
Very
she
nice.
uses the little Sawyer, and it's slow when she backpacks.
Yeah.
That looks
Yeah, it's way faster, gravity fed, and you can travel with water. Unlike other things where sometimes you can just drink from the source, but you can't bring it with you. This, you can bring it with you.
Very nice.
And we do a lot more work into Tanzania, to Dominican Republic, places like Nepal, and now we're doing a lot of work in Brazil, nonprofit work, and we're providing these buckets to people over there too that have no access to water, and they can clean, any type of rainwater, any type of river water, and just so they have a
That is
whole-
wonderful.
Yeah.
And you mentioned rainwater, so folks, even in Western North Carolina, we've seen so many springs that landslides have either they've lost their spring, or even though they have uncovered the spring is putting out silty water. And so a lot of folks are buying bottled water because they don't feel like they have another option.
Exactly.
So this could be a way for them just to use that silty spring water
Exactly.
and then still have it.
It purifies at 99.9%.
That is
You can have
wonderful.
fresh drinking water, not carrying huge cases of water to their home, or
Right.
going out spending hundreds of dollars on water. Yeah, this is for them to get that.
So right now we have families in Western North Carolina, and you are donating them at the moment, right?
Yes, donate them at the moment. We still continue to keep donating them at the moment, especially people who have no water at all, no access to water.
And then you're eventually going to offer these for sale for folks to do preparedness.
Yeah,
right?
the next few months we want to get these on the market so people can prepare and put them in their backpacks and travel with them, go on hikes with them. So that's the next goal we want to get into.
Nice.
Awesome.
And is there any how can folks help Wine to Water?
So if you go to our WTW.org, you'll be able to donate, and you'll be able to see the work we do, and send us money. And, you'll see the impact we do in the community, and of course we take all donations, and I really appreciate that.
And then if folks want to see about getting a tub for themselves, for their families, how can they do that?
So right now we do the water quality testing, and if there's any type of E. coli in the water or coliform in the water, and they have no water source, we want to donate this water so they have that.
So they can schedule a testing, and then once the testing comes back as, hey, yes, they can't use their water, then you'll donate a bucket for them.
Of course. Yeah.
Wonderful. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Anything else you'd like to add?
That should be it. Please check us out. We love to help the community. Love to see anyone come by and sign up and talk and spread the word.
Awesome.
Give us that website one more time.
WTW.org.
Perfect.
On the water.
Wonderful. Thanks,
Appreciate you
Austin.
guys for everything you do.
I'm here with Yvonne, and she is with the Civilian Disaster Response. Now, Yvonne, tell us about what your organization does.
Our organization provides disaster relief for farmers and homesteaders across Western North Carolina. In the form of immediately after a storm, we provide temporary emergency fencing, which is step-in T-posts, polywire, solar chargers, and then we move into a case management situation where we work individually with these farmers and homesteaders in meeting what needs and referring them to the needs that we cannot meet. So whether that's bulk feeders, water troughs, permanent fencing, barn repairs, barn rebuilds.
Awesome.
Nice.
So what is it that you guys need? How could folks support you?
Oh, well, monetary donations go a long way for us. We're very grassroots. We're run pretty much on in-kind donations, so we're looking for in-kind donations, which we always appreciate in the terms of woven wire, bob wire are our two biggest needs right now. We need a couple of skirted hay rings. We need a couple of hay bonnets or hay huts for some horse owners. But those are like our biggest need right now.
Okay.
Fly spray, fly mask for livestock horses, because the bugs this year are crazy. But those are our biggest needs, and monetary donations is always, always appreciated.
So where can folks find you? I imagine you probably put this list out to the public somewhere,
Yes,
right? Where
on
can
our
folks find you?
Facebook page.
On
We're
your
on
Facebook
Facebook,
page.
and we've started an Instagram, but I'm not smart enough to
That's okay.
figure those things out because I'm a grandma.
And do you have a website?
We do have a website. Our website is www.cdro.us.
And then on your Facebook page, do you put your updated needs list on there pretty often?
We do.
Perfect.
Yes.
So folks can follow you there and see what it is that you need and ways to make that contribution.
Yes,
Perfect.
absolutely. And we spotlight our volunteers, and I try to do a reel every week just to let our followers know what we're up to and what we're doing. Our volunteers are made up of experienced farmers and homesteaders. Collectively, we have 474 years of experience in farming and homesteading.
Excellent. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for your
You're
time.
welcome. Thank you.
I am here with Chelsea of Hope Mill, and she's going to tell us a little bit about what it is that Hope Mill does and how they help the communities.
Hey, yeah, so we're Hope Mill. We started at the Lincoln County Airport doing fixed wing and helo operations and created a ground, boots on the ground operation. And we've kind of morphed into a group. We tell everybody we just like picking up the pieces that fall through the cracks. So we've done everything from bridges, working on roofing projects right now. My sister Amber's working on a huge cemetery restoration group project where 12 caskets have washed down, and we're trying to identify and kind of creating
And
a
that's
process.
a massive, creating the whole process because no one knew what to do with this. There's no process in place, right?
Right. So we're kind of learning from that. She's done an excellent job. That's a huge project that's going to come out of our pockets essentially, because we don't want people in that area for it to come back out of their pockets, because that whole strand of the Cane River in Yancey County, they've lost everything. So they shouldn't have to worry about reburying their loved ones.
Yes.
So we're trying to put tombstones back, by tombstones, by caskets, to put them back respectfully in the ground. That's one of our biggest projects right now. But yeah, so we are.
How else are you guys helping you talked about some of these big projects. How else are you, if folks could use your assistance, how are you helping folks?
We've covered rent, we've given cars, we've covered electrical bills, we've given campers, some tiny homes, and some safe spaces and things like that. You can find us at hopemill.org, and then on our Facebook, Hope Mill. And yeah.
And so what is the main thing that you all need right now or could use?
Honestly, money.
Yeah.
And 100% of anything you donate to us goes straight back into Western North Carolina right now. No one's paid out of Hope Mill or anything like that, so everything you give goes 100% back. We also have a scholarship that we just created for Western North Carolina, our Resilience Scholarship. It's for anybody between 17 and 25, trade, community, or university, and it can cover tuition, housing, books, food, anything like that. And you have to have been affected and prove that you were affected by the storm, but we want to make sure that no one's left behind and everybody has an opportunity to kind of get out of this.
Wonderful. And then they can just go to your website to apply for that scholarship as well?
Hopemill.org.
And same thing with donations to continue to help you to fund these projects. They can make those at Hope Mill as well.
Yeah.
And then you guys are also the ones running the raffle for the square body truck, right?
Yes, the 1980 Chevy square body. We're doing the drawing on the 4th. If we sell enough tickets, there's only like 55 tickets sold, so the chances are high. They're $100. And again, 100% goes right back into the mountains. So
awesome.
Buy a raffle ticket.
Get a raffle ticket. We'll have this video out.
We've got some.
So you've got a week. If you're seeing this before July 4th, you've got one more week before you can get those tickets. Not quite a week, a little less, but yeah. So we'll make sure that you guys have that link as well. Thanks.
Thank you.
Appreciate you, girl. I am here with John from Grounded Boots Relief. John, tell us about Grounded Boots Relief and what it is that you all do.
Well, Grounded Boots Relief originally started as a bunch of volunteers who showed up in Edneyville, North Carolina, with the intention of reaching out to the community with ATVs, side-by-sides, and hikers, and being able to load them down with needed supplies like water, food, insulin, MRE, EpiPens, and all of that stuff, and being able to reach out to the communities that had been affected by Helene, who had been cut off by trees or washed out roads and everything. We were in Edneyville and then up here in Black Mountain, and then reaching as far as Burnsville, North Carolina, with that intention. And since then we've been working long-term recovery efforts and coordinating with companies like Blue Rhino. We were able to get a contact with them and get 4 truckloads of propane during the winter this last year, and be able to get thousands and thousands of pounds worth of propane to the local community for the long-term recovery. But Grounded Boots Relief is focused primarily on being able to be prepared as opposed to simply responsive, and being able to get supplies that are put into buckets and everything, and be able to distribute that in the immediate aftermath of a storm, as opposed to expecting the local communities to get up and going, because it takes a while for them to come back from that from reeling from that storm.
Okay. And so what is it that, how can people support your mission or support you? How can people help you out, or what is it that you need?
Well, if we have local people who are looking at working on the ground and working with chainsaws and everything, that'd be great. But we're also looking for volunteers who are in the Southeast who are looking to deploy and being able to go set up distribution hubs and everything in those sites. But as far as financially, we're definitely needing some there, because the supplies cost money.
Right.
And we're mitigating a lot of that with working directly with these companies, so that we're able to lower that cost from us, but it still costs money. So if we're able to get that financially.
So right now you're trying to put together the preparedness buckets for kits.
Yes.
And so you need funding to continue to fill those. Is that correct?
Yes.
What's your goal as far as how many you want to have filled?
We're looking at getting 500 buckets all put together.
And how many do you have currently?
We currently have none.
None. Okay.
No. So this is a display of what our goal is, but it's a matter of.
So then, right now, you need people to fill the buckets and funding to get all the materials to get those filled.
Yes.
Awesome. And where can folks find you to be able to make that contribution?
GroundedBootsRelief.org.
Okay.
And then the donate button's on the webpage.
And are you on Facebook?
Yes, on Facebook, Grounded Boots Relief.
Perfect. All right. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Now, you may be wondering, what is the deal with this old truck? Well, Hope Meal is raffling off this 1980s Chevy 1500 Scottsdale Edition. This girl has low mileage, a functioning factory air conditioner, new tires, and runs great. All proceeds from this raffle will go directly back to hurricane relief efforts for Western North Carolina. Raffle tickets can be found on their website, and we've dropped the link to Hope Meal, as well as for all the other participating organizations in the description below. The drawing for this truck is happening on Friday, July 4th, 2025, so it's just a few days away. Be sure to jump on the opportunity to scoop up one of these tickets. Thanks so much for watching, and be sure to help us continue to spread the word about the work being done in Western North Carolina for hurricane relief by sharing this video with others. Also, drop us a comment so that YouTube will show this video to more people, and if you have not already, be sure to subscribe to the channel. Thanks, guys.